Who ties the shoe? Isn't it the hands? Yeah? When Jesus was introduced, what did John say? There is one among you whose coming was preferred before me. When you are and then he says, whose shoe latchets I am not worthy to. Why did he mention the shoes? Why didn't he say, I'm not able to tie his shirt? I am not worthy to carry his bag. I'm not worthy to carry his bag. I am not worthy to walk with him. But his shoe latchets I am not worthy to untie or tie. And exactly that's what John is saying. That's what John did. He never touched anything to do with the gospel of Jesus. Because he never became a Christian. So he never touched the shoes. So that statement was prophetic. There is one among you who is preferred before me, but he has got shoes. And I'm not worthy to touch on the laces of the shoes. That's why he introduced Jesus and the shoes of Jesus to those who are called and predestinated to receive him and to become Christians. John never became a Christian. Because John never believed Christ unto baptism. He told Jesus that, why do you ask me to baptize you? You would be the one to baptize you. In Matthew 3, you can read that. And then Jesus said, suffer it to be so. Because in that manner, it behooves us to fulfill all righteousness. And he was telling John, it behooves us, you and me must be baptized in order to fulfill all righteousness. But what he told John, John did to Jesus, but Jesus never did it to John. Because John did it because Jesus asked. But Jesus didn't force him. John was supposed to ask. Say, I've baptized you. You told me that it behooves us, you and me, to be baptized in order to fulfill all righteousness. But now that I've baptized you, please baptize me. He didn't say that. And because he didn't say that, Jesus didn't baptize him. And because Jesus didn't baptize him, he never became a Christian. He remained in the Old Testament dispensation of God. And because he remained an Old Testament prophet, he never touched the shoes. What are the shoes? The gospel. Heaven is my throne. The earth is where I lay my feet. And what is on my shoes? I mean my feet. Having your feet shod with the gospel. The preparation of the gospel. So Jesus, what he placed on earth as God in flesh was the shoes, the feet.
which is the gospel.
biringi
According to Ephesians
kusinzira ku Efeso
chapter 6, I think.
kusinzira ku Efeso 6 fanawo.
When he talks about putting on the full armor of God. I think around verse 10 there he talks about put on the full armor. The shield of faith. The sword of the spirit, which is the word of God. The helmet of salvation. The breastplate of righteousness. The belt of truth. And the shoes of the gospel. So he places the feet on earth, which is the gospel preached to the poor. Not the physical poor, but the spiritual poor. Oh God, make me to be hungry, to be always wanting more about Jesus. More about Jesus. I am never contented with Jesus. When you get married and then you reach time and say, why
should I plead with this man? How important is it to me anyway? If it's children, I already have my children. If it's a home, he already has built a home. That since I was nearly, hey, welcome back. Welcome back, my darling.
Please sit down.
Please
Welcome
sit
back,
here.
sir.
Have a seat.
I have said enough.